Hi everybody, this is Scott Sharp with Fretboard Toolbox, and today we're going to look at mastering keys in the key of G major. So I'll show you three big ideas that can make a big difference in your playing. Let's get started and I'll show you how it works. So today we're going to look at this free Mastering Keys book over here, and we will go to the key of G major. I've already done a video for the key of C major, and mostly we'll be using my essential ukulele C tuning book here. So for the key of G major, I want you to know these 6 chords here from G major to E minor. You can skip the F major. Anything in my books in italics is out of the key. So these are the 6 chords that I want you to know, and I want you to know the Roman numerals, and then I want you to play through them and rate yourself from noper, which means you can't do it, to yepper, which means you totally can, or somewhere in between. So you want to move all these chords to yepper, and every time you hear songs in the key of G major, you want to think of these 6 first, because these are the ones that are going to be most common. So to go through and play those, we can take a look at where those notes are that make up each chord. So G majors can be played like this, but when I know the notes that make up the chord, I can also throw in this B, or if you can play this shape, D, G, B, D, which is right here, or D, G, B, G. So find yourself a few ways to play that G major and then rate yourself on it. That's the 1 chord. Then the 4 chord is a C major, and you probably learned it like this. But you can also play a C5, which is G, C, G, C, so there's no E note. C majors are made of C, E, and G. We can play that's C, E, G, C. So that's a C major chord, the 4 chord. Then for the 5 chord is D major. I play D major a little weird. I play, however you play it, you want to hold down A, D, F sharp, A. Some people play it like this. Some people play it like this. Some people play it with 1 finger like this. I do a little hybrid. I hold this finger for the A and D note, and then this one for the F sharp, because it lets me get something called a D7 real easy like that. So that's D major. Again, all up the neck. We can play it in a whole bunch of different places. And so find a few of those, because you'll start seeing that those shapes repeat, and it's like, oh, okay, I see why those have those particular shapes. And then for the 3 minor chords, we got the 2, the 3, and the 6 chord. So the A minor chord, you probably learn like this. We could also throw on this C if we wanted. We could play it up here. Maybe. That's C, E, A, C. That's your 2 chord. Then your 3 chord is a B minor. This one's kind of hard, but it won't be in any of the progressions we play today, so you luck out. That's B, D, F sharp, B. Then again, all up the neck, you can find all sorts of shapes. And then for E minor, there's 2 ways. One, well, 2 easy ways, easy-ish. One is this one. So that's G, E, G, B. That's probably the easiest. And then getting on that B up here on the 4th string, that can be a little harder. So when you're trying to figure out if you've got a chord played well, play each note one at a time. So there, so I'm not getting that E. Da, 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 da. Or I could play, if you want to bar it, but this one's nice and easy. And if you're playing a G, you can just throw this pinky down, because here's a G major, throw that pinky, and then you've got an E minor that's nice and easy to get to. So that's my 6 chords. So once you know the chords that are in the key, then you're going to want to know some chord progressions. So big idea 1 is what chords are in the key. Big idea two are what are some common ways to play those chords. So all the progressions over here are the same as these progressions over here. And if you go to the Fretboard Toolbox website, you can see all of those. Let's get to you go to tracks and tab 200 free jam tracks, and you can click on G major jam tracks, and then it's me playing through all these jam tracks on guitar. So if you want me to do a later video of how to strum with these, because there's several ways you can do that, we can do that. So just let me know in the comments below. But if we want to just mess around with a few of those chord progressions, we can do a 1-5-1. That's G, D, G. We can do a 1-4-5, G, C, D, G. We can play a 1-5-4, G, D, C. And so maybe you'll start saying like, oh, I think I've heard that progression before. I think that sounds like this song or that song. And that's because chord progressions are really super common. So you'll want to learn those because they get played all the time. A 1-6-4-5, G, here's that E minor when I just add this pinky, C, D, 1, 6, 4, 5, or 1, 6, 4, 5, 1. Here's another one, 6, 4, 5, 1. Then a 1-6-2-5 has a really cool sound. 1, 6, 2, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5. Or the 1-6-4, or I'm sorry, 1-2-4-5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 4, 5, 1. And then you can even play a 5-4-1. So that's 5, 4, 1. So rate yourself on those chord progressions. There's some that I would probably have to be in the mostly column for a minute. I don't practice the ukulele every day. But then for the last big idea, I want you to know major scales and major pentatonic scales. And in all my books, the complete and essential editions, the major scales are in white boxes and the major pentatonic notes are underlined. So anything in white boxes here is major scale. Anything that is underlined is major pentatonic. So for me, it's a little easier to see those scales on the complete edition. So if we go to the key of G major, you already know these chords and the Roman numerals. You know these chord progressions, or at least have seen them. Then if I want to play some scales, right now I'm playing a low G uke. So to go from G to G on a low G, I could go, so G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, A, G. That's one reason I like the low G, is because I like to be able to play in G and get little melodies there. But if you're playing a reentrant tuning with the high G, you could start on this G up here and go all the way up to here. So that could look like G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Or if I want to go from this G to here on either ukulele, so that's the whole major scale. And then the major pentatonic is just the underlined notes. So G, A, B, skip the C, the 4 note, D, E, skip the F sharp, the 7 note, and then you're back to the root. So playing the major pentatonic here, at the beginning I did a little major pentatonic lick. It was like this. So that's D, E, G, A, slide to B, D, E, D, B, A, G. So just mess around in that little area, D, E, G, A. You could even go to this B and D. And then I could slide D to E. And playing with those scales on the jam tracks, over the jam tracks, that's where really fun stuff happens. And if you want me to do a video on that, let me know, because playing little solos and adding little melodies and even little walking bass lines to the chord progressions is a ton of fun. So if you'd like to learn more about fretboard toolboxes, you can go to the Fretboard Toolbox website, and if you go to pick your instrument, I've got books set up just the same for all these instruments. So if you click on any of those instruments, you can learn about the essential versus complete books, the most common question I get asked, print versus ebook options, the second most common question. You can see every ukulele video I've done, and if you click look inside on any of my books, you can get all of the instructions plus the key of G major pages, so all the pages we use today for free, and see if you find the book useful. So, and there's also tons of other free tools on there. The Mastering Keys checklist is found under free tools, and there's stuff on strumming patterns and how to build major keys and circle of fifths and all sorts of cool stuff. So anyways, I hope you found something useful today, and I'll be back on more Fretboard Fridays with more videos on more of my favorite instruments.